In today's video, I go over my new KSR ARES 50 watt high gain amp. Stay tuned. What is up, you guys? It's your boy Luis Torres, and today I get to go over my new KSR ARES 50 watt amplifier that I just got from Mike Hasty from Walls of Jericho out in Detroit, Michigan. So this is an amp that I've been wanting for years, and it's interesting how, people have always tried to compare the tone that you get from it. And now that I have one and I've spent a few days dabbling with it, the only thing I can compare this amp to is get yourself a Randall Diablo RD100, then get yourself a high wind amplification Dire Wolf, get yourself a Lone Wolf Burning Spirit, get yourself a Pepper's Dirty Tree, get yourself a TC Electronics integrated preamp. Then you'll need a Seymour Duncan 805 overdrive. And all of those flavors combined is what the KSR ARES has internally. Literally, with the flip of a toggle switch, you have all of these different flavors that you can play around with, including two knobs, one that reads top and one that reads bottom, which is basically the only thing I can compare it to as far as what I have is probably my VFE standouts. You have a high and a low pass filter in that pedal that allows you to either remove some high end or add some low end or vice versa. So with this amp, the only other amp that I have that it's close to is going to be my Laboga Mr. Hector. And the only, I would probably say that the KSR allowing me to have a different voicing along with the knobs that literally are labeled top and bottom, those elements are probably what beat out the Mr. Hector. And if you guys have seen my previous videos, you know that my all-time favorite amp that I own is my Laboga Mr. Hector, because straight through, it's not noisy, it's, super heavy in your face, it's absolutely incredible. The KSR is that with a few other features that allow you to just fine-tune it any direction that you'd like. Like I said, it's like having a Diablo and needing all of these different pedals just so you can get to the point of what the KSR ARES is like, all in one box. So in this video, what I'm going to be using is my 1991 ESP M1 M2 Custom with the Seymour Duncan Dimebucker, and the only pedal I'm using is my Fortin Zool, which is just a noise gate. That is it. That is all it needs. Mike Hasty was telling me that he was able to get even more flavors from the KSR using different overdrive pedals and different boosts also. Yes, it totally does. If you are just like, hey, I'm going to end up spending quite a bit on this KSR 50 watt, you probably can get away with not needing any of the pedals. Like, it's that good. It's good. It's as good as, like I said, my Laboga Mr. Hector. But if you want to record and you want a different flavor, the KSR is going to allow you, literally with the flip of a toggle, turning the top and bottom knobs over a bit, changing the voicing, changing the gain structure. You're going to be able to get a different tone without having to utilize a different cabinet, a different speaker, or even, throwing in a different pedal. So without further ado, let me go ahead and set this up. That way you guys can have a listen and let me know what you guys think. What is up, you bunch of goons? So here I am, 1991 ESP M2 Custom with the Seymour Duncan Dimebucker in the bridge. Again, running guitar into the Fortin Zool and out to the KSR 50-watt ARES. And you will get to hear, maybe I'll play for 2 minutes, give or take a bit. This is actually my favorite tone, no pedals included. I'll just walk over and just play around with the different voicings that are on there. That way you get to hear all the different doohickeys that it has and what you are able to do with the KSR if you decide to get an ARES or any of their heads for that matter. So Okay, so there you have it. Let me put this guy... Where's the stand? Okay, so I went ahead and just decided to, for the most part, to go ahead and play around with some of the different options that are on there. So you can change the gain, you can change the voicing, you can change the top and the bottom. What else? Hold on. There's a fat and a bright. So I played around with all those, turned the top and bottom knobs. That way you guys get to hear what you're able to do with it. And, you know, listen, I still haven't even thrown a pedal on there. So that'll give you an idea of how, I think, how well that amp is just in general, just direct. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like it's just one of those amps that, you know, if I really wanted to, you know, in my heart of hearts, if I had to get rid of all my gear and someone said, hey, pick one amp that you would take with you to a deserted island, you know, I'd punch that dude in the throat and be like, bro, you're just going to give me one option? Are you kidding me right now? I need 3, son, and I need a Mesa 412 with a V30. So if I were given 3 options, I would definitely do the KSR 50-watt ARES. I would do my Mesa triple rectifier, and of course my Labogan Mr. Hector, and I would be fine with those 3 for the rest of my life. Although I would definitely miss my JCM 800, my JCM 2000, my Stiletto, my Paul Reed Smith right there, you know. But listen, if you've only gotten 3 that you can chill with, those are my 3 right there. Yeah, it's it's very apparent within the first 5 minutes why KSR charge the ridiculous amount of money that they do. But keep in mind, you're not going to need anything else. Nothing. You won't need another amplifier. You want a JCM 800? Why? You want a Mesa rectifier? Why? You don't need anything else. If you're just going to rack up with just one KSR and call it a day, you can literally call it a day, be done, and you know what? That is it. Those are, you know, it's just in a bag, kid. That's it. It really is that good. And I've had the Randall Satan. I mean, I've had so many amps, you know, throughout the years, and I like to think that I have some idea of what maybe I'm doing. I think maybe it's just in my own head. But overall, you know, dude, you know that all we do all day long is try to find something better. And I was talking to, you know, one of my buddies yesterday, and I said, dude, in the end, all you're really doing, regardless of the amp that you are trying to land or have, you have a specific tone in your mind that you're trying to go for. And the problem that we run into is, as guitarists, we like the tone that some of our favorite bands have produced. So the problem with that is, you know, let's say like a band like Metallica, dude, they use 6 different microphones. So I feel, in the whole grand scheme of things, unless you're going to go out of your way and buy one amplifier that your favorite band uses, and you're going to go out of your way to find the exact mic that they used and what speaker they used in what cabinet, you know, for something that has this multiple dimension, all in one box, it's definitely the KSR ARES 50 watts. So that is it, my lads. Hopefully, if you've been trying to decide if you should get a KSR, just know that I too was also on the fence, because Lord only knows I have an array of amps that keep me company on a weekly, daily basis. And the KSR is definitely, one of those amps that I'm lucky that it just came across my table. And again, huge shout out to Mike Hasty from Walls of Jericho. I'll put a link below to one of my absolutely favorite hardcore songs, which is by Walls of Jericho. And you can check that out below. There's like 1.5 million hits to that video. But Mike, thank you again. He's the man, dude. If you are a gear head, like you are an absolute lunatic trying to figure out what is your favorite next amp, just know that Mike Hasty is exactly the same way. And we chat like every other day and we're just like, hey, what amp are you looking at? Are you, what are you considering? And he's just like, well, I'm going to get this VHT, but I may get the armored amplification Sentinel. So we'll see. And I'm just like, oh my God, dude, what are you doing? But Mike is an absolutely great guy. He is an ESP artist, and just an absolute killer guitarist. So so I ended up getting this amp from him, and listen, everything that you've ever heard about KSR, just know that for me it started with the Series, which is the preamp pedal, and I remember thinking, yo, this is the absolute best preamp pedal on the market, like hand over fist, totally is. So I was looking forward to one day trying a KSR amp and ended up just buying one. And, if you think the KSR Series is good, this amp is infinitely better. It just has infinitely more options. So if you like the KSR Series pedal, you're going to completely lose it when you get your, Orthos, your Artemis, your Juno, your ARES, regardless, dude, they're all in that same ballpark. They're all sick amps. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't, jerkface. Don't make me go to your house and rip you out of your bed and force your finger to hit the subscribe button. I will. I will. All right, guys. I'm so stupid. Guys, again, thank you so much. You guys are the best. And as usual, this guy will talk to you soon.